Hey everybody, we are so excited. We are here with Erin Heard today, all the way from Midland, Texas. And this woman is a powerhouse. She's been in the industry for a little over 15 years. And in her first official year as a realtor, she got Rookie of the Year at Keller Williams, which is pretty impressive. But one of my favorite things about her is she runs a team of VAs. And we all know how challenging it is to work with VAs. And so we're really excited to learn how she manages that. And she runs a real estate team as well of 10 agents and growing, which is pretty cool as well. So, welcome, Erin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome, Erin. We're so excited about this.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself first, like your team, where you are. Give us a little insight. Give the listeners some insight into who is Erin Heard in the real estate space and otherwise.
We don't want to dig too much in here though, not too much in there. So yeah, originally from Houston, came out to Midland, Odessa in 2007, and always had a passion and love to, ever since I was little, I wanted to have my own business. When I was little, it started from maybe a burger joint to, owning a hotel. And so I didn't know where exactly that was going to take me. And so transferred over to University of Texas, Permian Basin here. And my last year got introduced to a great apartment complex and got a little taste of real estate, then kind of grew from there. Well, when I stepped into Keller Williams and got my real estate license, started as a single agent, and I just loved it. I was like, this is it. And what I loved about real estate is it's infinite. Whatever you put into it is what you're going to get back. And so it just blew my mind. I've never had a big sales job before. And so I knew going in my worth because I knew how hard that I worked. I've just always, it's ingrained in me. My dad has fantastic work ethic. And so I was like, let's go. Let's see how far we can take this. And so your vision in real estate, it's so neat because there's so much to it. It is whatever you want it to create in it. And so yeah, I started as a single agent, and then I got super busy, and I was like, I need help. This is not possible. I will tell you, the first thing that really got me is it was a Facebook. I got somebody posted on Facebook. I've been trying to get a hold of this realtor, and she won't answer my phone calls. But I mean, I was back to back with appointments and barely, I was sleeping. I was working every single day, not one day off. Some days 4 or 5 hours of sleep. My first vacation was after a year or so in the business. It was beautiful. And it was a lot of grind my first year. But then when
I'm curious, Erin, where did all your business come from that first year? Like, how did you get so busy so quickly?
ah, great question. So I first really dove into training. And then all of a sudden, right after that, because I had the confidence, and then it just blew up from there. I was door knock. It was funny, your first day, y'all. I remember my first day in real estate. Okay. You sign with the brokerage, get so pumped, and you sit there at your desk, and you're like, yeah, I got this. And you're like, wait, what do I do next?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. And so is everybody probably.
So,
I
so
remember
you
feeling
kind
the
of
same way. Yeah.
yeah, you kind of have to have a good game plan of where you're going to go get the business. And so I had talked to some realtors, and I was heavy on open homes. I mean, every single weekend was open homes. I was door knocking. Door knocking was my specialty. What I did was I would get with other businesses and put coupons on the door hangers for the businesses, especially if it's by a neighborhood. So, like, there was a liquor store that I'm friends with the owner, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, put like 15% from this day, this day." So it had a couple of different like coupons on there, and I'd go and door knock, and then just, nurtured the sphere and went from there. Yeah.
I love that because I feel like a lot of agents discount door knocking and open houses. And I feel like that's such a powerful way to build your business. And the coupons are amazing. Me and Liz partner with some local businesses, and we do like coffee cards or pizza cards. And that's
Yeah.
genius to have them pitch in for like your door knocking flyers. Like take this flyer to, I don't know, the bowling alley and get 10% off.
Yeah, I
That's
think that's
genius. I
huge.
love
Like
that.
partnering with local businesses is
Yeah.
huge, right? Like it's like then
It.
you partnered with them, so then they start talking about you, and then people look at your flyer because there's also coupons attached, and kind of just starts that,
There,
percolation. Like, who's this girl? And I do think it's like what you were saying before, you get out of it what you put into it. Like if you
Mhm.
work at it, you're gonna get things out of it. You just can't sit you're at your desk and wait for the phone to ring, right?
And
So
don't you think new agents kind of maybe don't realize that? They're like, well, yeah, like open houses, but like on Saturday? Because when I first got started, I would have to like, I'd go door knock and then I would do two open houses on Saturdays, two on Sundays, just to try to get that business going. But now my agents, I'm like, can you guys do an open house this week? And they're like, open house. And I'm like, you're complaining you have no deals, like do some work.
well, and that kind of leads into it. So that's where you ended up deciding that you needed to get a team because you were so busy. Did you start with an administrator or did you get a showing partner? What was your
yeah.
next steps?
Oh, now y'all get ready for a lot of the fail forward moments. Buckle up. So yes. Yeah. So, yes, I started with an assistant, and then I mean we were going. It was really exciting, and during that time, you hear a lot about having a buyer agent, and then you focusing on listings, and so I said, okay, we're growing. Let's see if we can move you into a buyer agent position. And then I swung over and put somebody in more of an assistant, like TC position, and then kind of grew from there. So then I had about three people. So I had two people in buyer agent position, and then they got recruited out from underneath me to a different brokerage.
You trained them and they're like, okay, bye. We know what
Yeah,
we're doing now. See ya.
there was a little something shiny that was dangled. So there's a lot of things that I've been through throughout the years that I will tell you, I will be as open as possible in all my fell forward moments. So yeah, y'all feel free to ask me any questions.
So now you have 10 agents though now. You're up
I
to 10,
do.
right?
So one thing that I really learned for our area is we're in a unique area because we're one industry driven, and that's oil.
Mhm.
And so a lot of the cost of living is a little bit higher, even though like our average price range is about 250,000. However, we've got the oil companies that are paying, a lot of the men out here are making six digits plus. There's some really good money to be made in the oil company. Well, a lot of the smaller businesses is having a hard time competing with that. And so we have so then when you've got employees, they're expecting to make at least six digits, coming in. And as a smaller real estate team, that's, harder to do.
Mhm.
And so then that's when I said, okay, let's go ahead and try the VAs. And yeah, got plugged into one that I had a little bit of fell forward moments with VAs for sure, as I know probably a lot of other realtors have.
I
And
do.
Yeah,
I
us.
had one bad experience and I was like, I don't think I can do this.
Well, that's
So,
why when you were telling me about the VAs, Erin, I was just super intrigued. I was like, how does this woman run? Because how many VAs do you have now? Is it 10? 10
mm-hmm,
VAs. And I mean, so VA virtual assistants, right? They're in the Philippines. Is that
they
what?
are,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then of course I was excited because you said you'd been to the Philippines. So we need to hear
yeah,
about
so you
more about
actually
that.
went there and like, did you go there and like hand pick which ones you wanted to work with?
No, so I got connected with Spring's team and their VA in 30 days.
Mhm.
And once I had like a really solid and I had to go through a couple. And once I found a solid VA, there was hope. Once you have that hope, it's amazing.
Like this is gonna work.
This
This
is
is
gonna
gonna
work.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep going with this. And so then had a really good VA, and then the idea was to separate it because what you're paying for one person in the US, calculate that out of how many people that you can have out of VAs in different countries.
Mhm.
And so once you calculate that out, you can create specialties though. And so if you've got a certain budget, you can create different specialties within NVAs, which is really, really neat. And so I started with a lady, her name is Charlene. And so right after that, when things were working, and like, I mean, super, super pumped and excited, and we're like, let's grow this. And then at that time, I've always fluctuated between 1 to 4 agents all throughout the years. And now we're at 10 agents and just growing. And I will tell you at the beginning, so the end of this last year, I was at 1 agent. We're at 10. And
Whoa.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's
yeah,
like in 7 months.
yep. And
You
we're
added more
eight.
than one agent per month.
Mhm.
Okay. I just want to make sure my math, okay.
The
Yep.
calculations.
And
Yeah.
great.
How are you finding your agents?
Yeah, great question. So anywhere from our vendors are, um, sending us referrals on agents, because they know how we work. Really good friends with them, familiar with our atmosphere and our culture. We also have agents that are referring other agents into our team. So yeah, and then I've switched some things up. So we're offering, we're opening up some education classes for agents in our area. And I also started a realtor book club. We had our first meeting last week.
We
Oh,
me
I
and Liz
love that.
talked
What
about
book are
that.
you
We
guys
want to do that.
reading?
Ah,
Yeah, I love
oh,
that.
let's see.
Pulling out the book for the book club. We can all, oh, 10X is
Oh,
easier
love
than
it.
that. Love it. Love
Yeah, yeah,
That's
super pumped. So,
great.
and the funny part is I've never been, it's more happened naturally before, the 1 to 4. And
Mhm.
so now we're just being a little bit more purposeful. We're aiming for 37 agents by the end of the year. Yeah.
I,
And it
I feel
sounds
like
like
you can
that's,
do that.
yeah, really obtainable.
So
Um,
when we chatted about your virtual assistants, it sounded like you had each VA doing a designated task. They weren't super spread thin, doing a whole bunch of different things, like not doing, your social media. They're doing your website. They're doing your TC work, your listing stuff. Can you explain a little bit more about that? Because I
yep,
feel like that probably has a lot to do with why you're able to grow your team so quickly. Is that
yep.
right?
Yeah, I can break it all down. So we do have, I have a property management side. So the VA runs everything. The only thing that they don't do is if it's, in person, then the agent is running and, grabbing the lock box. But a lot of it, you don't realize how many things can be done virtually. And so my best advice is definitely do recording. Whatever you're doing now, just record it, save those videos. Then I'm just gonna break it down with positions.
Okay.
Good?
That'd be
Okay.
great.
Okay, I've got so she's administrator, and she's the one that I told you, the one that gave me hope. Her name,
Carlene.
Yeah.
that's Charlene. She is amazing. She started in as like running everything like TC, mix of everything, and now she's more of my right hand. So she's helping me with things in the business, and really anything that I need that's outside of the other jobs she's doing. So really like, my right hand. And then my property manager. Then we have our transaction coordinator. So once we moved her out of the transaction coordinator position, we ended up bringing somebody here in the office. So we do have somebody here locally, and she has a VA assistant. Now, I will tell you, every team, every realtor handles their transactions differently. And I will tell you how I work. I I don't want to touch them. I love what I do. I love helping people, but if there's going to be an issue, it's going to be in the transaction. And so that's why you've got to have somebody there full time, like that's their specialty. And so she has her assistant, and so she runs full transaction. That means an agent can 100% let go of their transaction, and our TC will run all of it. Um, Communication every single day, vendors, clients, realtors, everyone. Then we have our listing manager. She's a VA. She does anything from um, making sure all the pre-consult compliance is completed. She's proactive in getting communication back from listings. She works side by side with our marketing VA. Um, she will work all the way until that home goes under contract or the land goes under contract. She's working full listing. She helps run all CMAs as well. Our agents just verify it, but I mean, everything is done prior to an appointment. So it's
May I
all.
ask a question on that? So she looks into the history, finds the properties, gets that CA built, or yeah, CMA built out, and
Mhm.
then you or the agents, you just verify it.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
you guys have trained her to do that. So
Yep. Yep.
that's
Yeah, because
brilliant.
we're already doing it, and then
Yeah.
you just have to train somebody else on how to do it. What else? There was something else I was thinking. Oh, she also goes through our database. So if we have a list of sellers, she's also sending them market information, all of our sellers. She sends market updates to them. So, I mean, she is a powerhouse. I mean, absolutely amazing. So, yeah,
And what's
we.
her name and is she available? I'm just kidding.
Does she have a sister, a twin sister?
Yes. She
Oh,
have
I've already
twins.
asked her. I said, how many of you are there? We've been talking about cloning. I don't
Yeah.
know.
She sounds amazing. That sounds like such a asset to your business.
She is, and she is just the most gentle soul. I mean, just amazing person in general. So yeah, super super pumped. We just appreciate having her and everyone on the team. And then we have our marketing specialist. So like I mentioned, Sheila's working side by side with our marketing specialist. Sheila's also helping organize open homes. So she does all the MLS. So she gives our marketing specialist all that information. And so then it's going to be all that information from just listed, under contract, open homes, all that good jazz goes to Ramel, who is our marketing specialist. And so yeah, and then he just gets it on everything to make sure that we're seen. Yep.
I love that.
Yep. And
And
then
who's the main point of contact for your virtual assistants? Is it you? Is it someone in-house, or does everybody talk to them?
So everyone has their own department, and I'm a little bit hands off. I mean, I'm not I'm not the type that's like real controlling. If like there's something that I want changed, like I'll let them know, but I really give them freedom on running their department. I mean, everyone has such great ideas, so you want to allow that freedom to create and grow in their department. Yeah. So and honestly, we only I have one meeting with my operations team. And other than that, the whole operations team works together. All of our communication is through Slack within the team. And so like if Sheila has a just listed, she'll send it in Slack, send the MLS information, and then Ramel knows to post it, where to get it posted. And then he controls all the leads coming in from social media, which then moves us to our ISA team. So, um, I have my first ISA was Carrie. She's still, or our first, yeah, our first VA ISA is Carrie. So Carrie's been with me for a couple of years. Again, another powerhouse. She has now grown her team. She's got two other VAs, and she her baby is our CRM, which is Follow Up Boss. And so she controls everything. She monitors the agent's numbers. She monitors the ISA numbers. She does script practice with the ISA team. She does her one-to-ones. She creates automations, action plans. I have had several people come to me asking if they can have Carrie.
So did you have to train her to do all of that, or did she come with those skill sets? Like, how did she become the Carrie?
Yeah, she was an ISA prior to with a different team. So she already knew how to, speak to clients. But
Okay.
I did hone in a little bit. So I got her some really good training and coaching when she first started, and it just grew from there. So I will say if there's any specialty, like say an ISA position, there's some great coaching out there that you can get them plugged into. And
Okay.
because if you don't have the time, so and it's funny, everyone's different, but I am not like we have our own scripts, but they're not written down. You know what I'm talking about? Like once you grow, like you have your certain things that you say, and you're like, I
Yeah.
don't know how I'm so successful. Like I just, because you just have your jive that you do with clients. And so it's hard to train other people that sometimes. And so that's why it's good. Like for me, I had to get her in, professional script coaching. And so once she got in there, she just grew her department and yeah.
That's really interesting. So, how did you tie into that professional script coaching? Was it just something you searched online, or you'd heard about
Was
it, or
Yeah, it was through it was a coaching program that I was with called Workman.
okay.
And they had script practice. And then we've also, who was it with? Is it with Barry? There's another program, and I can get it sent to y'all.
Mhm.
But they also do script practice with ISAs. It's either with Ylopo or Follow a Boss. I think it's
Okay.
Ylopo, possibly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because
And
actually, you ladies got me on to Follow Up Boss. We're changing over at the end of the month
yay!
because I am so excited about being able to work with our VA to do group texting and chatting with our clients because we've always felt that's our secret sauce. And so then being able to include some additional help with that is huge. Like it was like a no-brainer. After you told me about that, Erin, I was just like, okay. I looked into it. We made some calls and we're switching over at the end of the month. So thank you for that.
No, of course. My favorite part about Follow Up Boss, though, is because I've been with them for many years. And my favorite part is that they listen to the realtors. So, if there's some sort of issue or we're like, hey, what about this idea? They listen and they will change things in their system. And it's not a delay. I mean, they have a really great community on social media and everyone's there to help each other out. And so if Follow Up Boss sees something, they will change it. It's really, really neat. Yeah.
That's so cool. So
Yeah.
tell me how you ended up in the Philippines. I want to know because I want to go to the Philippines.
So after I had my team for about a year, I said, let's go see them, and it's funny because they're all in completely different areas.
Right.
And we're really big on our culture and getting our team together and having that unity. And I read a lot of books about sports and teams, and you really have to have a really good unity. And so I said, okay, let's get them together. picked a date, and then all of our international team, all of our VAs, flew into one location. We stayed at a hotel there on one of the islands. And yeah, had we just had a blast. And we had, I think, one or two of our VAs helped put it all together. And I mean, they're so kind. And they helped with making arrangements to taking tuk-tuks. If you don't know what a tuk-tuk is, y'all need to look it up. It
They're
is so
so
much. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I mean, it was raining. We went to waterfalls. It was beautiful. And all of us, I mean, it really changed things in the business as well because you just had that cohesiveness of everyone working together. Yeah.
I love
And I bet that
that.
meant something huge to them too, because I bet there's very few team leaders who travel all the way to the Philippines to actually meet them in person. And like, that's so cool.
I know when you
Yeah.
told me about that story, I just got thinking about because I've thought about it. We've worked with one or two VAs in the past, and I'm super inspired by what you've been doing. But I have thought about it. I was like, you know what? I feel like either have them fly over here,
Mhm.
for a visit, but like it makes more sense to go there because then everybody can kind of get together and it's kind of a little vacation, but also team building as well, right?
Mhm.
I love
Well,
that.
yes, I did have to keep correcting everyone. I said, this is a work event. This is work event.
This
Yeah.
is tricky.
It was
Uh,
a blast.
So how do you run, like, so you run everybody through Slack and like, how do you work? Like, are they contractors or are they employees? Do you have them as a contractor or employee?
So it's more of like a contract. There's two ways to pay VAs is usually through PayPal, and then I can't remember the other payment. I use PayPal. The reason why is because you can use a credit card, and then you get points off of it. And then when you
Yeah.
have those points, you can use those points to fly over to the Philippines.
Exactly. So what kind of advice would you give somebody that's, hasn't worked with a VA, has been thinking about it? What are the next steps for somebody who's considering adding that to their team or to their business?
Yeah. So I will tell you one of the ladies that I've partnered with, her name is Isabella with Brava Hub. She will help with hiring a VA, and she has helped us grow our team as well. And um, she is very good at interviewing exactly what you need. And then we'll go from there and help with some partnering up and making sure that you've got a really good fit. My best advice for people here is, have your budget, know what you're going to pay. And Isabella can help work through that with you on positions because she knows how much each of ours pay and
Mhm.
what their job duties are. And then second best advice is record everything. Record everything. And then also allow them to create their own systems. Because I had my own systems, but sometimes it doesn't make sense to other people. And
Mhm.
so it's now to the point where I may spend 1 or 2 days with somebody new that we bring in, and then I can let them run. And they'll start revamping. They'll see things in your business and they'll say, "Hey, can I do this, this, and this? This makes more sense for me." And most of the time, like, yeah, like looks great. I love it. Let's do it.
I like that. That's something I'm learning because usually I'm kind of a control freak and I'm like, no, you have to do it Desi's way.
Mhm.
But what I'm learning is like there's a destination, right? So like if we're going to the grocery store, like you might turn left, turn right, and go a different way. I might go a different way, but if we get to the store, like it doesn't really matter how we get there.
Mhm.
And so I love that you're letting them take ownership in the process. That's cool.
Yeah. And I mean, they're highly intelligent, and it's not my specialty. I'm not a C personality. I'm like, let me go talk to 100 people. Like I love people. Let me go do my thing, and then I need help more on the back end. So even my whole operations was a little messy. So I knew that. And so they really helped come in and just clean stuff up and just make it beautiful and organized. And I mean, things are just going. Agents will say, hey, I need an offer. They're in a home and they're like, the clients say, I love this home, I need an offer. Or I have another position I created called agent support. It's a VA, and she will write up the offer. So by the time they get home, everything's all written up, all beautified. The agent still, verifies the information, and then they can go over it with the client. So really, there's stories. There's these stories of, having your agents in full production. And so that was my main goal, of what I wanted to do is actually take things off the agent's plate. And the only way that I could figure out how to do that is with VAs and really taking things to the next level and allowing them to be in full production. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I bet it helps with your agent retention on your team too, because it's like if I'm out showing properties all day and then I have like 3 offers to write up and I have an hour and a half drive home, it's like,
Yeah.
ugh. But if you get home and they've already written them, I am curious. So how do you do it with like the time difference? Like, do
Yeah.
they just work?
That is that's a great question, Desi, because it is a complete different time difference. So it's 11 o'clock a.m. here, which means it is 12 p.m. there.
Oh,
And so they work during their nights. Yeah.
mm,
And
okay.
a lot of the VAs live on coffee. So the next thing what we noticed especially when I met in person is, it's a little, um, it can get unhealthy, doing a night shift sometimes and living on
Worried about with
coffee.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that I really wanted to help them with is like health. And so we're working through like more healthier options for them. So like the other day we're going through, we actually started some new committees, and we've got three VAs in this committee. It's birthday and anniversaries. And so they organize like what gifts to give to our agents and our operations team for the birthdays. Well, they're like coffee, coffee. And so we started working through, well, have you heard about like the mushroom coffee,
Do you drink that?
Yeah, so we're working on some like healthy options all the time. And they appreciate it because we understand and everyone understands that. I mean, our VAs, our operations team does so much, so much. And so yeah, everyone's so, I will say this, there's so much gratitude in our team. I've been through the years of like no one's thankful. And you hear this from a lot of team leaders that your agents aren't thankful. And that is not within our team. There is so every day we start a day in wins and gratitude, and everyone knows that they work hard. Everyone is working hard for each other. Our agents understand that the funds that they're bringing in help pay our VAs. Our VAs are constantly working to help our agents. It's such a great unity. Yeah.
Well, they're a big part of your team. Like they're virtually part of your team, right? So
Yeah.
I love that. So, Erin, if somebody is listening to this podcast and is curious about, anything you do in your business, but specifically the VA situation, would they be able to reach out to you? Would you be able to give them some guidance?
I would love that. Yeah. I love helping people so they can call me, text me, email them on social media. Yeah. Any questions you have, would love to help.
And then they can find you on Instagram. We've got your handle, right? We'll drop it into the notes on the podcast here so they can reach
Yep.
out to you. I just find it so fascinating. Like I was just so excited when I ran into you and we were chatting at that event and I was like, You're so inspirational. Like I just like I'm going to take so many pieces of what you're doing and try to implement it into my business. And I even feel like this breath of like relief almost, like this is how you do it. Because, I think a lot of people think so much about like, how do I make this work? Like, how do I do this? It's so expensive. How do you work with the VA? Like we've got one, but she does like probably too many things. Like there's probably too many things on her plate and we're expecting too much from her. So maybe it's like if we, get her in one direction and then maybe bring on a couple other people and it's specializing like you're saying, that just makes so much sense. I love that.
Right.
Oh, it's beautiful. Even if y'all want, like a job description or what their duties are for each position, I can send that over to y'all, how everything's broken down. So yeah, anything that y'all need, happy to help with.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you
that
so
would be
much,
awesome. I
Erin.
actually do want that.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I'll get it over to you.
We do.
Cool.
So,
Well, thank
well,
you so
we're
much,
gonna
Erin. I appreciate you. This is so much value, I feel like.
100%. So Erin Heard runs what is it? The lead group, right? So the lead group is your team and you've got some people in Houston as well. So if you're looking for a realtor in that area, you got to reach out to Erin and her team. Or if you're interested in talking about virtual assistants and how that can like fulfill your business and improve your business, she's your girl.
Awesome. Thank you.